Yo, I'm all for making your own parking spots. I do this shit all the time. This Delaware Plaza, I used to stop here in the same spot every 2 days when I worked at JB Hunt, delivering to Baltimore. But this is a little preposterous. So there's one pump, two pumps. Both of them guys are in the pumps. There's no one behind them. This dude just rolls up with the car hauler. Well, all the cars on the top level, by the way, which I'm pretty sure does not, that's not polite to the laws of physics, going around corners. I'm just saying, when you have all the cars on the top level like that and nothing on the bottom, I would imagine that would cause the thing to roll over a lot more than normally would happen. So this dude rolls up. There's no room for anybody else to get by now. And they're probably going to be pissed at me because I'm parked here, but I'm eating my fucking sandwich. I don't care. So dude walks over, he looks back, shakes his head and shrugs, like, I don't give a fuck. And he runs in and gets his snack or whatever he's getting inside. So trucking, very fun. The best. Don't get into it. If you're 21, sell drugs. Do something better. Don't get into fucking trucking, please. I could have been a doctor, dude. I went to college. I could have done something with my life. Instead, I decided to own my own fucking business because I couldn't tolerate working for anybody. Don't get into trucking, please. Just don't do it. I mean, it's a decent fallback thing. And if in your 30s, baby, if everything else you tried in your 20s failed, but don't be like me. Go to college. Make something of yourself, dude. Don't end up a truck driver, for real. We could have been a fucking nuclear physicist if I really put the effort in. But I have problems with authority. Oh, here he comes. He's coming back. He got his snack. He's ready to go. I was only going to be in there in 3 minutes. It ain't no big deal. But, oh, so behind me, and we're waiting in line behind these two people trying to ring up fucking coffees. And they were trying to pay with like a debit card that wasn't working or whatever. So it took them 5 minutes to figure that out. But right behind me, there's another truck driver talking to his girl on the phone. And he had it on speaker, but he had his headset on. So I don't know how that worked. But I could hear everything she was saying. And he said something to the effect of, yo, you know who I run into the other day? Those twins, Keisha and so-and-so. I forgot the second one's name. And the lady on the phone, she's like, oh, that bitch hoe ass. Man, she a hoe. Like, come on. Apparently, his girlfriend and Keisha do not get along and are not friends. Oh, she a hoe ass. I love it, man. I fucking love that shit. It's so funny. So, all right, I'm gonna have my sandwich to get the fuck out of this absurd situation that is Delaware, the Newark Travel Plaza. All right, so I just had my first Cybertruck ever sighting. Look at this shit. That's fucking cool, man. I mean, it's kind of gay, but whatever, man. I don't know. Might have to steal one someday and take it for a fucking rip. I heard it could go through puddles, no problem. Tesla. I have a Cybertruck. I look like I'm from the 1980s. Elon Musk is my personal hero. Oh yeah, the old Route 17 special, man. Shout out Trucker Wild. R.I.P. son, Suffolk, New York. First time I ever met that cat was back at that Valero station, right at the end of 17 North, before you hit this little 287, 87 throughway section. I remember I was doing an Amazon load and I came by, wanted to meet up. Dude was always about YouTube, meeting people on fucking YouTube, this and that, and he was a special kind of somebody. And then everything turned to shit, but you know, as is life. So we had a pretty interesting fucking 2 days here. Well, technically today's the third day, but whatever. I like how it says in New Jersey, it says Tappan Zee Bridge still, but as soon as you move over to New York, the sign says Mario Cuomo fucking bridge. Whatever. Pile of shit. I'm Governor Mario M. Cuomo. And then his son resigns in disgrace like 2 minutes later. Nah, that's not true. It was decades. But so anyway, let me pass this fucking idiot real quick with the enjoy the amazing turbo sounds. All right, turbo sound over. Very good, excellent. So we always like to skip the George Washington Bridge going eastbound because we don't want to pay $110. Even though we get a discounted rate, that's still too much fucking money to be paying to cross a goddamn bridge. It costs us $31.20 to cross the Tappan Zee, and it adds about 20 minutes to the trip. So we do that all the time whenever we have to come through this way. I decided to go up and down the New Jersey Turnpike this time because I did some math on it. Back in the day, I would drive 84 to 81 all the way out to Harrisburg to get out of Connecticut to avoid paying all the tolls, and then I would go down Route 15 through Gettysburg down to 270 and then onto the west side of Washington DC. That was always my preferred route to go south. Problem is, it adds about 62 miles and it's all mountains up in 84 and 81 through Wilkes-Barre, all that bullshit. So it's really, I did the math on it. It costs $62 extra to go south down the turnpike all the way to Delaware. $62 when you take into account the fuel mileage difference and the extra tolls you're going to pay heading south on 95. So, and you save an hour by doing it, and it's all flat. So we got 5.78 miles per gallon by taking the turnpike down to Fredericksburg, and we picked up in Maryland we picked up watermelons coming back in Maryland. We had to deadhead 150 miles, but the load was well worth it. It was a last minute load. We got paid $19.75 to come back to Hartford, Windsor actually, Connecticut. So a 350 mile little jaunt with 150 miles of deadhead paid me almost $2,000, just shy of $2,000. So that's just a little bit less than $4 a mile when you take into account the deadhead mileage, which I heartily accept that. And there's going to be detention on the back end because we're delivering to a place that's going to fuck us on detention. So we're going to collect some money on that end. But I've come to the decision that every time I head south, I'm taking a turnpike from now on. I'm not going to fuck around going out to all the way out to Harrisburg. And on top of that, you pay higher IFTA tax traveling through Pennsylvania. So I'm saving money on, it's not a lot of money, but it adds up. The more miles you don't drive in Pennsylvania, the less fuel tax you have to pay. So you save a little bit on IFTA by not having to drive through Pennsylvania, all that mileage, because it's almost like 400 miles from end to end going that way. So I don't know. When all is said and done, I'll take the easier trip. Plus, I can do 75 down the fucking turnpike, and I'll never see a cop ever, and I don't have to worry about that shit. So not only do we get to jam, we don't have to worry about getting pulled over by any fucking bumblefuck sheriff's department down Route 15 for doing 55 through their fucking little small ass dick town. So yeah, it's been an interesting trip. We had our first OS&D experience with C.H. Robinson, and it actually wasn't that bad. They had one pallet they rejected. It had 11 cases on it that this place didn't want to fucking receive of almond milk. There was nothing wrong with it. So we go to, I send them all the pictures, I send them the documents. The fucking office staff at this place, the grocery warehouse I was delivering to, refused to write anything on the bill of lading pertaining to the rejection of product. I'm like, are you guys fucking new? They're like, yeah, we're not responsible for that. The dock personnel are the ones that have to write that on the bills, and they didn't do that in this situation. I'm like, well, why the fuck did they put the pallet back on my trailer then? And on top of that, the piece of shit that fucking unloaded my truck put it all the way in the front, a little 11 case pallet. It was still fucking 350 pounds. I had to drag that bitch all the way to the tail of the trailer, dude. And I'm a fat piece of shit, dude, but like that was taxing for me.
I did not enjoy that, because I knew I was going to have to throw it out or donate it or whatever. So sure enough, C.H. Robinson gets back from the customer. They're like, yeah, go ahead and get rid of it. And I said, well, what do I get paid to do that? And they're like, oh, we could do, you know, my rep at C.H. Robinson's pretty fucking badass, dude. This guy goes to bat for me. I'm like, I don't know. What do you think's worth my time to go find a place to get rid of this shit and then pay to get it disposed of? And I figure, like, probably the same as a Tonu, right? Or something along those lines. And they're like, okay, I'll request $150 for you. And I'm like, and they, like, he sends a new Raycon within 5 minutes. And I already have it in hand, you know? It's like, dude, I wish all brokers worked with that kind of efficiency. Like, they actually pay you to, what the fuck? Why is it so humid outside, dude? And I got the air conditioning on. Ridiculous. It fogs up my window all the time. So, we had a really good experience with C.H. Robinson on this run. I've been using them a lot lately. So, we're doing well. We already got moved up to the next fucking level on them, from basically starting from scratch, because we hadn't run a load with them in over 3 years. We just stopped using them altogether. So, I don't know, man. I'm happy with the way things are going. Truck's running fucking mint. I'm happy to see 5.75 miles per gallon, that's for sure. That was a real surprise. And I only paid $3.20 for fuel in Delaware. They had just opened this brand new 7-Eleven on Route 13, coming north out of Laurel, Delaware. I think it was Bridgeville, Delaware. 7-Eleven. The RXO card, well, it was XPO card. The RXO fuel card, they just accepted this location, so they were running like a promotional rate for fuel. It was $3.83 retail, and I paid fucking $3.20 a gallon. So I was pretty happy on that. Our fuel cost for that little for that fill up was only 50 cents per mile, and I haven't never seen fuel costs that low since I started driving this truck. So usually it's around 65 cents a mile to operate this truck, just for fuel. So seeing that the price that fucking low and getting that kind of deal was a nice little added bonus to the way this week is going so far. So yeah, man, catch up with you. I would have done a traditional video, but I just didn't feel like stopping and recording anything. It's more fun to do it while you're driving anyway, because you get to listen to the badass fucking C15, you know, making its ridiculous amount of noise in this fucking clapped out old clunker. So we'll catch up with you on the next one, and peace out, motherfuckers.